It's been 13 years, and we finally have another Mask movie, and it's no Jim Carrey clone. Instead, here is a version that is more comic accurate. In fact, far more comic accurate. More faithful to the comic books created by Dark Horse Comics. Apparently, upon observation, most people don't seem to know that The Mask started off as a comic book series which was very violent and blood-hungry. Stanley Ipkiss, who you may recognize as Jim Carrey's character in the movie, in the comic book, much like the movie, he's an insignificant average Joe to begin with until he finds the mask. Now, in the film, he finds the mask of Loki in a river, opposed to in the comic book where he buys it. And when he puts on the mask, it's not like the movie where hilarity ensues. Instead, the mask goes on a killing spree. It's horror and violence at its absolute best. But later on in the series, Stanley dies, and other people begin to wear the mask and shred everyone up. But as they went on, they somewhat tried to capitalize on the Carrey movie and became more and more goofier than how it started off. I personally love the comics, and I love the Jim Carrey movie, even though they are very different from what they're trying to be the same thing, but they're different. I mean, even Son of the Mask, I know everyone hated that, but, well, I don't hate it, but I wouldn't call it a very amazing sequel. So now, we have a third Mask movie, and it's only available through the internet. YouTube. I watched it with YouTube, so did a lot of other people. There's probably another way to watch it somehow. As far as I'm concerned, Revenge of the Mask is not a sequel to Jim Carrey's Mask movie, or a sequel to Son of the Mask with Jamie Kennedy. In fact, if it was a sequel, then why would the mask be in a chest after Loki took it back? So no, it's its own movie. The plot of the film revolves around a character named Alan, who is somewhat similar to Stanley. He struggles every day in life, and more specifically, it's his job that's hurting him. It's these men who constantly beat the hell out of him. It goes so far that they drop him off a bridge. When he gets to the surface, he finds a chest which contains Loki's mask, which I must point out that they repainted the mask from the Jim Carrey movie to, instead of being completely green, it's green with gold for the nose piece. I've seen that before. Check out my replica. Here's one from the comics. Now when he gets home, he has a dispute with his wife on the phone, and then he starts walking around and grabbing stuff, and one of the things he grabs is the mask. He puts it on, and while the transformation is awesome, I find it a bit funny how the mask jumps off of the floor onto his face. That never happened before, that's something new. And there's no tornado, like, he doesn't spin around in a tornado like Jim Carrey. The mask just glows and glows until his transformation is over. It's also great how instead of just making the mask all CGI for transformation, they use an actual prop. I think they were even selling it. I buy something, but I ain't rich. I don't crap out money. Even though most of it's under $5 according to this Facebook photo. The Mask, or no, Big Head, like from the comic, goes out on a killing spree, starting with the guys that threw him off the bridge. It's the revenge of the Mask.
He said it! He said it!
And when Big Head goes out, he does not take any remorse. He blasts and mangles the shit out of them guys. Tell me what's scarier, getting muffler shoved up your ass, or getting a projectile axe, which you thought was a bat, thrown into your chest. I also love the way that the guy with the beard goes shit when he dies.
Shit.
Karma. It's a bitch. Afterwards, he steals a cop car, kills some bald guy, one of the main characters I think it was. He then disguises himself as this bald guy, and then plays around with the guys in suits. And then he rips his face off. Another comic reference. Then comes the final confrontation. They all shoot at him, but he just absorbs the bullets and fires them out his fingers. Sort of like Dorian does in the Carrey movie, except Dorian did it out of his mouth. And it's also kind of similar to what Loki did in the beginning of Son of the Mask. He kills everyone except one, which is the boss. Forget his name. Big Head rightfully explains to him what's pissing him off. What isn't right, like them throwing him off the bridge, and before that attacking him and his wife, which he is really angry about. Yeah, earlier in the movie they broke into his house. Big Head does say he would give him a pass. The other guy gets up, starts to yell at him a bit, which somehow intimidates the Mask, Big Head. I mean, you're the Mask. Big Head. You have every opportunity to kill him at that moment. He's pretty deserving of it, too. Yeah, Big Head does kill him. The scene is done in a comic book kind of style, which is really awesome. Then Big Head goes home after he's done, takes off the mask, turns back into Alan. Him and his wife share a moment. They watch a report of the Big Head, and then Alan does a slasher smile, and then it's over. The end. After the credits, though, there's a little girl who picks up the mask and runs with it. Oh boy, a sequel? This is great. They've also officially stated they may do one. What should they do? Don't leave out Alan. He was an awesome character. I enjoyed watching him as the Mask. Not to mention he was played by two actors. Alan is played by an actor named Tim Parrish, and Big Head is played by an actor named Michael Buggard. And what about this little girl? I recommend you do more than just take inspiration from The Mask, The Hunt for Green October. I did really enjoy the performance of the Big Head character. Under the mask, he's a guy going through tough shit. He's been thrown off a bridge and stuff on that level. Stuff that never even happens into the movie Ipkiss until he actually puts on the mask. Like being held over a printing press. I also would throw out there that I've been working on a mask story myself, Idea Wiki. Any guys interested in that? Let me know if so. And by the way, I'm the same guy who made The Incredibles 3 on, I made The Incredibles 3 on the Idea Wiki. I'm LW Leon. So overall, Revenge of the Mask is what I would call the definitive Mask movie. If you like the comics, you'll probably love this movie. If not, like it. If you want one that doesn't rely on comedy, and isn't a Jim Carrey movie, and you want something more blood-hungrier like the comic books, this is for you. Second best. Enjoyed this one. This was the Mask movie I'd been waiting for. Good job. And by the way, I was sitting on a ladder the whole time. Yeah, this is my mask replica. I mean, it's not the best, but it's better than some of the ones I've made in the past. It's, one that somewhat looks like the one from a comic book, but I might redesign it.